Yo, what up, what up, what up, and welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, listen, all right. So the U.S. has, in the news in particular, the media has pivoted away from their stance of, oh, it's not a lab leak, to now it's a lab leak. So what I stood here and I did through a lot of this was I said, look, I don't know enough, right? Like I can't prove anything one way or another. So I said I don't know. That's just like when everybody came to me with the vaccine thing. I said, yo, I'm not a molecular biologist. I don't understand the things being said, so I can't really sit here and definitively go, yes, this is what it is, or that's what it is, because I don't know. Right. I didn't know enough about the vaccine thing to really have an argument one way or another. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of felt like a lot of people were getting pretty, like, fucking dumb about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the individuals got really, they got super weird, right? They got to the point where I was standing here going, man, like, y'all niggas is really starting to sound like flat earthers and shit at some point. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm just, like, people were trying to get in like this cult mentality of where you're like, man, I'm not taking that vaccine because, yo, Bill Gates is trying to stand here and put a tracking device inside of your body, and you know they want to sit here and do this and that and da 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 and all this crazy shit. And I was standing here going, man, they were, look, all right, I want you to understand, you sound like a fucking crazy person, all right? You sound like, you know what I mean, a bananas ass dude right now. And I'll be honest, like, it's your personal choice if you want to trust the drug companies and the governments and everything along these type of lines. Like, that's your choice. You know what I mean? It's up to you. Whatever you choose to do is your business, right? Because there's a lot of times where, like, you know, we stand here and we go, oh, man, we trust these individuals. We don't trust these individuals. And, you know, like, it's really arbitrary, right? Because it doesn't really come down to us knowing shit. Because in the end of the day, like, we really don't know, right? And when it comes down to this lab leak hypothesis thing, right? Like, whether it was a lab leak or whether it was a bat or whether it was some Chinese individuals eating bats or, you know what I mean, like bat soup or someplace in a marketplace in Wuhan. In the end of the day, right? You know what I mean? Like the whole gain of function thing and all this stuff. I've always kind of been a bit of a Luddite when it comes down to a lot of these scientific mentalities, because I say, all right, look, I feel as though I know human beings pretty well, right? And I know human beings are not responsible creatures, right? That's why, like, I'm anti-nuclear weapons, right? I'm like, yo, look, I feel like, yo, everybody should just get rid of these things because, like, we're smart monkeys. You know what I mean? We're not that intelligent to be able to hold the power to destroy millions of people at the click of a button. Like, we're just not that. I don't trust us enough to do that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't trust any man to be able to stand here and have this power in the end of the day. That's always kind of been my mentality. Like, I love people, but I go, I would never stand here legit and, you know what I mean, like, trust individuals to that extent. I would never trust the government to that extent. Like, I know the vast majority of human beings are dumber than a bag of hammers. But the reason why, like, you know, all of a sudden the news is pivoting away is because Joe Biden and Barack Obama and, you know what I'm saying, Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders and everybody who was on the campaign stage this year, right, all had kind of the same stance on China. All kind of had the same stance on international trade, because regardless of what, you know what I'm saying, guys like Turd Fling and Monkey feels, where, you know, they go, oh, man, Tom, you're a mercantilist. Like, no, I'm not. All right. I understand that, like, yo, the vast majority of this country are dumb monkeys, okay? And you're never going to eliminate the fact that there's ants in this world. I had a kid one time named Theodore, a little black kid, right? We used to call him Rolls. He was a cool kid, and I worked with him when I worked down at like the steel plant making truck springs. I said, man, look, yo, why we got to do this bullshit work? He said, the world needs ants, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And that was fucking brilliant. It stuck with me. That was probably like 20 years ago this dude said that shit to me. But the world's always going to have ants. And no matter what country you're in, whether it's United States or Switzerland, you're going to have ants. You have to have manufacturing and basic jobs to keep individuals able to provide for themselves and their families with decent, positive jobs where people feel as though they're being productive. And you go, oh man, it sounds like socialism make work shit. But it's just, when you know the nature of man, right? And this is kind of where the nature of man is. This idea that having cheap goods and consumerism is not going to overtake the need for man to feel productive, for a man to feel useful. In the end of the day, like, a man needs to feel useful. And if he doesn't feel as though he's being useful, just like if a woman's not feeling, like, why do you think we have feminism, right? Like, yo, back in the day, like, you didn't have feminism before we had washers and dryers and refrigerators and microwaves and things of this nature, right? Because, like, women were useful. You know what I mean? Like, to a family, a woman was absolutely useful. She was an individual who the family relied upon. You know what I mean? And if she didn't do her job, kids died. That's use. You know what I'm saying? That's a purpose. Like, yo, a man has to have a purpose as well. Right? And when he doesn't have that purpose, when you stand here and you go, oh man, like, he's going to go and work some service sector job or sit in some fucking cubicle all day and not make enough to survive and have to live off of government benefits. He doesn't feel as though he's being useful. He doesn't have that purpose. He doesn't have the same drive. That's kind of the mentality of all this, right? And this is what manufacturing in China has destroyed in this country. It has destroyed our purpose, right? And people are seeing that. And that people have that mentality. All of us have this mentality at the end of the day. So the politics have shifted, right? Now, as far as the anti-Asian hate, the vast majority of, like, the Asian violence is done by black kids in the hood because they're robbing the richest part of the hood. Because Asian people make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Asian people make money and black people are robbing them. In the end of the day, that's what it is, legitimately, right? Like, it's just fact of life. It's not Asian hate. It's not Asian hate crimes. Like, y'all are getting robbed because you're doing well. It is what it is, all right? And I know, like, you want to blame white supremacy and Donald Trump and all this bullshit, but it doesn't link up, right? Legit. Y'all are getting robbed. Like, y'all are getting beat up in the hood. Because, like, yo, black people understand that, like, yo, y'all individuals had that money. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how that works. You know, like, yo, individuals who flash their watches, you know what I'm saying, drive nice cars in the hood, those are the individuals who get robbed. You know what I mean? It's like DMX used to say, you know what I'm saying? How much your watch costs? You about to get your watch lost. If you flashing it, you must not want it. You know what I mean? Well, motherfuckers is hungry and they ain't got no jobs. And they ain't got nothing to do for themselves. And they can't support themselves. And they're locked out of fucking, you know what I'm saying, basic shit. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But yo, look, I wanted to drop this video. Have an opportunity to stand here, you know what I'm saying? Say what up to the family. You know what I mean? I got love for y'all. But yo, in the meantime, man, I got to go do some things and handle some business and make some money today and make some moves and take care of these new babies I just had and all this shit. Thank you, everybody, for coming back. You know what I mean? Still being here for me, yo. It's appreciated. Got love for y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.